Welcome to Empowering Women Everywhere. I'm Nan Gill, your host, and today we have with us Sher Singh. Hi, Sher.
Hi, well, thank you for having me.
So, I know that you're a woman that's been empowering women for many years. How did you come to Orange County?
I came to Orange County about 28 years ago. My ex-husband worked in the hospital, Harris Hospital, and my children were young, and I decided to stay at home and be there for them, and got involved with the school system.
Right.
And from there, it took a life onto its own. I became very involved in the Parent-Teacher Association. I chartered many schools. I was president of some. I became a region director for the state, and then I was on the state board. All in all, doing empowering women and educating children.
Okay. And you're on a lot of boards that serve the community. You want to tell us a little bit about some of the boards that you're on?
Yes, I know that you recently had Kellyanne, who is executive director of Safe Homes. I'm the current president of Safe Homes Board of Directors, which serves Orange County, and we are a great group of people who donate our time. Women and a few men we had. Currently we're looking at some more men on our board, but I have served for almost 14 years.
Oh, wow.
And as president now, and we are doing great work in safeguarding the lives of many. There's a great staff of women, and we take care of all the unpleasantries of things that has to do with domestic violence.
Right.
And so for me, it was definitely empowering to me. I always wanted to be engaged in such a board.
Right.
I was fortunate in my life never to have experienced that, but wanted to help. And here I am 14 years later, and doing what I enjoy, helping women.
From what I understand, you're having a drive right now in Safe Homes for school supplies and backpacks.
Yes, we are. We do several small drives. We have lots of other businesses that help us with these things. But if anyone, know that they want to come and volunteer, women, you can start in a small place. Help us, and the drive really is simply as a nonprofit agency. We're looking to help those less fortunate and who are preparing for school. The women whose children may not have everything they need to get them ready for September.
Right. And what other boards do you serve on?
I serve on the hospital board, Orange Regional Medical Board. I just recently completed my term as an officer, a secretary to the board. And I serve on the Greater Hudson Valley Systems Board, which incorporates Catskills and Calhoun Hospital and Orange Regional Medical. And my position is totally volunteer. I'm one of the few women who sit on that board, but I feel I have contributed to many of the conversations that help to understand and live to the mission and goals of the hospital, in which we're doing exceptionally well in placing ourselves in the region. And so anybody who lives in Orange County and can go to Orange Regional or Catskill Regional would be able to see the great the growth and the steps we're taking and the success path we're going down.
That was an amazing feat to build a new hospital and to combine all the regional hospitals that were around. Were you involved with that?
Yes, I came in at the tail end. I was standing right by the sign at the entrance when we were bringing people in from the two hospitals. It was a great plan to make that happen, because remember, we were bringing sick people and babies and people who are, you know, under lots of different connections to tubes and this and that, and so the EMS and all the other agencies who worked with us did a wonderful job.
Right.
Arden Hill and Horton Hospital, and it
Right.
was on August 5th, 2011.
Right.
So we just, just went by the mark of being there, and we are making great strides. We have received many awards and things for outstanding work.
Right.
Yeah. The design of the hospital also is conducive to a welcoming feel. The
Right.
colors and the archways, the architecture and everything.
It's amazing. The emergency room is so efficient in that hospital.
Yes. The staff is wonderful, and the nurses are excellent. And we are just thriving to make all that happen. There is a leadership team, an executive team, and they're doing a wonderful job. Many of them are women. I'm so proud of them, and they're making strides to empower others.
I believe you work on the Mental Health Association.
I am on that board as well.
Okay.
I sit on the Mental Health Board, Mental Health Association board with Nadja Allen, who's the executive director. Great group of board of directors as well, and it's really a real stride to educate yourself on mental health and the stigmas attached to it. All of this is volunteer, of course. They're a 501c3 as well.
Right.
And we do many things to educate, the community on the stigma attached to mental health and how they can volunteer and what they can do to make a difference.
Well, I know that we have some people involved with our organization and very vital to our organization. I mean, we have people that are editing, people that are doing website, we have people, and we find that the people that come from the organization, that it's called Ocean, and it's occupational center, and it's a joint organization of all people with disabilities, whether it be mental health or if it could be hearing or vision impaired. And we find that the people that come from that environment are much more loyal and much more much more concerned about the quality of work they do, and much more appreciative of having an opportunity to work, and that it's not a negative thing. That people that are actively seek improving their mental health are actually a benefit to society.
They sure are. And we do much work and have much work yet to do. In February, I believe it's February 6th, we try, we're not a large organization because it's nonprofit, but we do things and events to help raise money to subsidize with whatever grants we get and so on, to be able to do programs for people who are in situations such as dealing with whether it's depression or any sort of mental health issues.
Right.
We have Text for Teens, which has been very, very successful, and there's a rape crisis. We work,
Tell me a little bit about the Text for Teens. What is that program involve?
We have a 24-hour hotline, and we share it with all the schools and so forth, and any young person who feels threatened, in trouble, thinking of suicide, any of those things, and wishes to call the number can. and we've helped many people, many young people in that line. So
What are some of the challenges that you've had in working with these various organizations and being so active on so many
Yeah.
different boards?
the challenge has always been budgeting, finance, even with a huge, fiduciary responsibility as a hospital that handles millions of dollars. We still have to look and to see what monies and where to get them from and how to make things happen, because we are a 501c3, as well as safe homes. I mean, we lean a lot on support from county government.
Right.
And the monies we get through grants, and Kellyanne and her team are wonderful with writing the grants appropriately, and us getting them. Mental Health Association, Naja Allen is outstanding in the work that she does and how she works with her staff. Same thing, we have to always look to the grants. So I find the biggest hill to go over, it has always been the fiduciary part of it.
Right.
The other part that's sort of not minor, but it is an issue, is finding volunteers who are committed. There are many like myself who have been involved 20 plus years or so, but then
Right.
there are others who, we're looking always for new people, because we will sort of fade out and we need to replace ourselves with
Right.
those who will be committed to the cause. Then something like a tribute to Women of Orange County, of
Right.
which I'm an alumni of. We meet and we have a breakfast and we have a dinner to recognize women in Orange County. And that too, it's looking at speakers, empowering women, seeing that, recognizing those women who kind of just sit behind the radar but do so much.
Do so much, yeah.
In the county. And that's supported by the YWCA and the Girl Scouts of the Hudson Valley.
And
So
what's the name of that organization again?
it's Tribute to Women of Orange County.
Uh-huh.
And us, the alumni, I was Woman of the Year in 1998. And so all the alumni get together. I am with, I worked with the newsletter many years ago. I don't do the newsletter anymore. And was also with the Speakers Bureau that we have within that. So what we did was we went to schools and different organizations and spoke as women, and to say to young people, here we are, we're women, we're in Orange County, these are some of the things we do, and here is how you can fulfill a dream that you might have, and give back to your community.
So in order to become a speaker for Tribute to Women, what's the procedure?
Well, you have to be an alumni, so you have to have been one of the women who were chosen by way of a vote. People submit your names, your name and all that you do, and then a team of on their steering committee selects a few every year, and then you recognize, and you're given a pin, and then you can get involved. So now we're coming, and it's given in different categories like education, medical field, general volunteerism, many different areas. And so what happens is now these are women who now can be part of the Speakers Bureau, and we can go out into the community and speak to schools and other places if they so choose. I am not on that committee anymore. I'm not sure exactly how they're running that, but I know that they're always willing to be a part of and to empower young women and show them career-wise what they can get into and how successful they can be, and in doing the things they do will have a feeling of empowerment once they see the difference they make in all the areas.
So as a woman empowering other women, how did you actually decide that this is the route that you wanted to take?
I think I've always been a people person. When I first came to this country, I worked at the United Nations, and before that I lived in the Caribbean, and I worked for a bilingual French-English British broadcasting station. And I think I just always knew I wanted to be with people. I also, from a young age, danced, so I was always exposed to big audiences.
Right.
And so I just slowly got involved more and more into, and as I did, I realized that I could make a difference when I was involved with my kids in school,
Right.
that I could help other women, especially in the areas of women. For many reasons, women are afraid or had their own, sad experience in school, and is afraid to go to the school, to be engaged. And by being involved in educating them and helping them, and it's funny, when I was a region director for the state PTA, I oversaw Orange, Rockland, and Sullivan counties. The PTAs was about 26,000 members.
Wow.
And this is all volunteer.
Uh-huh.
And my tagline was educating, empowering parents and educating children. Mm-hmm. And I found that, of course, as you might know, the attending PTA meetings mostly are women, not always, but mostly.
Right.
So we educated them. We showed them how they could be involved in their children's lives, in school, in education, in legislation, what's new, what's not, nutritional value information and things like that. So
Right.
all of that led to where I was. I became known a bit in Orange County, and more people would invite me to be part of different things. And so it was a friend of mine. He's now an administrator, but he was a teacher in Pine Bush, and his name was Bill Anderson. And he nominated me for Tribute to Women of Orange County, and that was that whole door that opened there. Dorothy Sheff, who's a professor at Ock, and myself wrote a newsletter for them for a while.
Right.
And so I got more and more engaged. I was also a school board of education member, which is an elected position.
Okay.
For
what
Pine
school
Bush,
district?
Pine Bush
Pine
School
Bush?
District. And it was very educating for myself to sit on the board, such as a school board, and so I did that. And I was Catholic Charities. I sat on their board. I was president.
there a board that you haven't sat on, Cher? Did
I
you
know.
find one
I
yet?
was Pius XII's president, and then Catholic Charities board of directors, because Catholic Charities took Pius XII over, and I also sat on the New Bronx Diocese Catholic Charities board with another known person in Orange, Susan Murray Tetz, who I resigned because I went to the school board.
Right.
And she was president. I believe she still is president for Catholic Charities in the Hudson region.
So what advice would you give a young woman or an older woman who wants to become more involved in their community?
I say you have to start small. You have to want to do it. You must know exactly where your passion lies. Feel it out. See what it is. Think about it. Write it down. See what makes you feel the passion for, to help.
Alive.
Yes.
See what makes you feel alive.
And volunteering it wouldn't take a lot of your time, and it doesn't necessarily mean in today's world of technology we don't always have to be present all the time.
Right.
We can do communication via the telephone and the internet.
So you don't need a lot of time.
You don't really, and I had 3 children I was raising during that time.
Right.
And my 3 children, Sanjaya, Atisha, and Vijay, are grown. They're successful. They're college grads. Atisha and Vijay are in California. And so what I'm saying is you can have children, you can still help, you can still be involved, and make the time, give back something that rewards you in yourself, that makes you feel good about your community.
What do you find is the greatest reward that you receive personally becoming involved with all these organizations and helping?
It is when, in any of the things I do, when I can be the voice for somebody who is not present, and I know that I spoke for them.
Right.
To make a difference in their lives.
To make a difference for them.
Yes.
I know that you told me something about an organization you're involved with called RSS, or you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Now, this is my where I work.
Okay.
And I earn a living from
this is what she does in her regular time. The other was in her spare time.
That was all volunteer. A rehabilitation support services, a wonderful nonprofit that supports the lives of many. I work part-time with youth at risk. That means I work with young girls specifically,
yes,
ages 13 to 19, and they're at risk. They have emotional problems, suicidal, cutters, many stream of things. They could have been, assaulted, raped, things like that.
Right.
And so there's trauma. And so I work with those young women, and that's very rewarding. When I can reach just one in one day, even if it's fleeting, it makes a difference.
You can change your life.
I can. Yeah, I feel like those of us who work in that field can.
Right.
And do. And that organization is run by 2 great people, Nolly Clemis and Susan Miller. Susan Miller is the executive director. Nolly runs the programs, and they are well respected because of all they do for not only young girls. There are different programs that falls under rehabilitation support services.
Right. And so if anybody wants to know anything about any of these programs that you're involved in, they can just give you a call.
Just give me a call.
And you'll give them contact information.
Absolutely. I can give them, reach out to them in whichever way.
Individually, even if somebody wants to volunteer.
Yes.
To become involved and find out more about what an organization has to offer. If you have somebody that you want to nominate to the tribute, Women Tribute.
Yes.
What's your number, Cher?
845-699-3643.
Okay. So they can all call you. Now, as if that's not enough, I understand that there's one more organization. I mean, there's probably many more, but there's one more that we're going to talk about, which is the work that you do with Section 8, which is a great program that maybe some of the people watching would be interested in participating with. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Well, I work for Pathstone, and that's part-time. And I work for a specific program that they have. Pathstone is a non-profit, and they work with Section 8 clients. I am part-time there are 2 of us, one full-time, one part-time, to a program called Family Self-Sufficiency. And it is looking at Section 8 clients who would like to better themselves, who wants to accomplish some things in lives, but they don't have a direction to go in. So what I do is I help them with either a vocational track or an educational track.
Okay.
And they then, once they've decided, we set up some goals. They have 5 years in which to accomplish it. They have to, for 1 year, show employment, constant employment, as they work and increase their salary and better themselves, and through programs and certificate programs or workshops, or going back to college, or if one of their goals is to buy a home, we match a percentage of the money which goes into escrow. If they're successful at the end of 5 years and show progress in the 1 year of working, they get that money to do as they wish towards what they want. They can go to trainings for an educational program on home ownership,
Right.
and all of that. All of this falls under those who are in Section 8,
Right.
and they're specific to the ones who are in the program Family Self-Sufficiency, FSS.
Right. So.
Outside of that, I dance.
Oh yes. Well, we have to cover that as well. So tell us about that.
Well, I'm with Element of Style Dance Studio, which was formerly Mas Salsa Ketu, which was doing salsa and that bachata and so on. But we found that we were expanding, and so the owner, Junior Reyes, changed the name. So it's Element of Style, and we do many things. Besides teaching classes and the regular stuff, we are very ingrained in the community, because we work with, there's some of us who are certified, and we work with Alzheimer's patients and brain trauma patients, and with senior citizens. We create events for senior citizens that don't have much going on, and we go to senior establishments,
Facilities.
yes,
Yeah.
and we do we use dance therapy with them, and so that's very rewarding, because dance is my passion outside of the work I do. And besides, we do all the Latin ballroom dances, but besides that, I dance tango, which is my love of all the dances.
So you tango.
Yes, I do Argentine tango.
I've actually seen you do Argentine tango in a few places.
Yes.
You volunteered at Literacy Orange for their event. I saw you there doing Argentine tango.
I danced there with Walter Kane. He passed away, but he was one of my teachers.
I remember Walter.
Walter was one of the best godfather of tango in the Hudson Valley, and he and his wife.
I actually
beautiful.
studied with them.
You did.
I did. See, now it comes out. I can tango.
Yes.
But yes, it's fun. It's fun to tango.
Yeah, it's.
And then I also saw you at the Orange County Chamber Dancing with the Stars. You did a
Orange County
tango
Chamber
demonstration there.
Yes. So I love tango. I dance in the city. A friend of mine, Eileen Marder Hinchy, Senator Hinchy's wife, she's a friend of mine, and she's the best DJ internationally for tango.
For tango.
And so whenever I have a chance, I go to the city with her. So that's my fun outlet.
Right.
And
so anyone that wants to learn how to dance, or anyone that knows how to dance and wants to participate in the great programs that they do for the seniors and the should get in touch with Cher. And what's that number again, Cher?
845-699-3643. Call me. I will definitely put you in a place.
Definitely call Cher. She's easy to talk to, and she can talk.
Yes.
So anyway, this is Nan Gill with Empowering Women Everywhere. And follow us at Empower Women on Twitter. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.